Love beyond time. The power of soulmates in later life. In the later years of life, when we might think that love is a thing of the past, something truly extraordinary happens. The idea of love, a feeling so deeply cherished, does not fade with time. It evolves, matures, and transforms into something that transcends the very boundaries of age. In fact, love in later life has a depth, a richness that often eludes us in our youth. And the greatest beauty of this? It doesn't come with the pressure of time. There's no rush, no expectations, just the pure, unfiltered joy of simply being with someone who understands you, who gets you in a way that no one else does. I want you to think about this for a moment. What if love wasn't just for the young? What if love, as it grows older with us, becomes even more meaningful, more enduring, and more powerful? You see, love beyond time isn't just a fairy tale for the lucky few. It's a reality that is waiting to unfold in the later chapters of life. And I want to share with you some incredible stories, lessons, and truths about love and soulmates. Stories that show us that finding true love doesn't have to happen when we're young and carefree. It can happen at any stage of life. There's something magical about meeting someone when you least expect it, when you've lived a full life and gained all the wisdom that time has to offer. It's as though the universe aligns, and the person who's meant to walk beside you at this stage is finally there, ready to embrace all that you've become. Through the course of this conversation, I'll share the beauty of love that knows no age. We'll talk about those relationships that make you believe in the power of soulmates, people who find each other at the most unexpected moments. And we'll learn the powerful lessons love teaches us in our later years. Lessons of patience, growth, forgiveness, and connection. So no matter where you are in your journey, whether you've already found your soulmate or are still searching for that connection, this video is for you. Together, we'll discover the truth about love that transcends time. A love that's deeper, stronger, and more powerful than any love we've ever known. Welcome to the journey of love beyond time. Let's dive in. As we move through life, we gather so many experiences. Some of these experiences are joyful, some challenging, but all of them shape who we become. We start to realize that love isn't just about finding someone who makes us feel good in the moment. It's about building a deep connection that grows stronger with time. Love, as we grow older, becomes richer because we approach it from a place of wisdom and understanding. We begin to appreciate things we might have overlooked when we were younger. The little moments, the quiet exchanges, the shared silences that speak louder than words. What's amazing about love later in life is that it's not rushed. When we're younger, we often feel like we're racing against time, trying to find the one before we hit a certain age. But as we get older, we realize that love isn't about rushing to a destination. It's about enjoying the journey, wherever it leads. There's no pressure. There's no ticking clock. There's just the pure joy of sharing your life with someone who understands you on a deeper level. And here's something important to remember. Love in later life isn't a consolation prize for being alone. It's a celebration of everything you've lived through. It's an acknowledgement of the beautiful, messy, and sometimes difficult life you've experienced, and a recognition that you're ready to share that with someone else. That person doesn't need to complete you. They just need to be someone you can walk beside as you continue your journey. Think about the moments in your life that have truly mattered, the times when you felt loved, seen, and understood. Maybe it was a quiet evening spent with someone who knew exactly what you needed, or maybe it was a moment of laughter that made everything else fade away. These moments don't have an expiration date. And as we grow older, we become more attuned to the value of these quiet, meaningful moments. They become the foundation of the deep connection we're seeking in later life love. As you reflect on this, think about the idea of meeting someone who compliments you, who doesn't just share your interests or hobbies, but who truly sees you. Soulmates are often thought of as the people who perfectly mirror us, but the truth is, they are the ones who challenge us to grow. They are the people who bring out the best in us, who encourage us to be kinder, more patient, more open-hearted. Soulmates help us rediscover parts of ourselves that we may have forgotten or lost along the way. They give us a space to grow into who we're meant to be. This isn't just about romantic love. It's about soul-deep connections. It's about finding someone who understands your quirks, your fears, your hopes, and your dreams. And that connection doesn't have to be instant. Sometimes, it takes time to build that bond, especially when we've already lived so much. It's not about rushing to find the perfect match. It's about finding someone who aligns with who you are right now. Someone who is willing to walk beside you, wherever life takes you. When we talk about love in later life, it's important to recognize that the most fulfilling relationships are those that are based on mutual respect and understanding. It's not about the superficial stuff, the grand gestures, or the physical attraction. Those things are important, but what really matters is the emotional connection. The ability to communicate, to support each other, to give and receive love in equal measure. These are the things that stand the test of time. Take, for example, the story of Grace and Peter. Grace had been married before, but after her husband passed away, she didn't think she'd ever find love again. She threw herself into her work, her family, and her hobbies, but a part of her always felt something was missing. Then, one day, she met Peter at a community event. They didn't have an immediate spark, but they started talking and discovered that they shared similar values, similar outlooks on life. Over time, they spent more time together, and what began as a casual friendship blossomed into something deeper. There was no rush, no pressure, just two people enjoying each other's company and seeing where it led. And as it turns out, it led to a deep, fulfilling love that neither of them had expected, but both cherished. Their love wasn't built on the idea of finding someone to complete me. Instead, it was about finding someone to share the next chapter of life with. It was about having someone who made the ordinary moments extraordinary, someone who was there not because they had to be, but because they wanted to be. And that's what made it so special. It wasn't a love story that was rushed or forced. It was a love story that unfolded naturally, at the right time, in the right way. And the beauty of this is that it's not an isolated experience. Grace and Peter's story is one of many, but there are countless others just like it. In fact, when we stop trying to force love into a certain mold, we open ourselves up to the possibility of finding something truly unique. Something that fits perfectly with where we are in life. Someone who meets us where we are, not where we think we should be. As you think about your own life and love, remember that love doesn't have to be grand to be meaningful. It doesn't have to be fast or dramatic to be real. In fact, some of the most beautiful love stories are the ones that develop slowly, over time, when we least expect it. When we stop looking for someone to complete us and start looking for someone to walk alongside us, love finds us in the most unexpected ways. Now, let's talk about something that often holds us back when we think about love in later life: fear. It's natural to feel a little hesitant about opening our hearts to someone after all the years we've lived. Maybe we've been hurt before, or maybe we're just unsure if we have the energy to start over again. But here's the thing: fear is a part of the process. And it doesn't have to control us. Fear of vulnerability is one of the biggest hurdles we face when it comes to love. We worry about getting hurt again, about being disappointed, about opening ourselves up only to find that it wasn't meant to be. But the truth is, vulnerability is not a weakness. It's a strength. It's through vulnerability that we create the deep, meaningful connections we're all looking for. When we allow ourselves to be open to love, we give ourselves the chance to experience something truly profound. And if it doesn't work out, that's okay too. Every experience teaches us something, and every relationship leaves us with lessons that make us stronger. At this stage in life, we've already learned so much about ourselves. We know what we need, what we want, and what we're willing to give. Love doesn't have to be about fitting into someone else's idea of perfection. It's about finding someone who values you for who you are, with all your flaws and imperfections. It's about accepting yourself, flaws and all, and finding someone who does the same. When we let go of the fear of being vulnerable, we give ourselves the freedom to truly experience love. And when we do, we realize that the best relationships aren't about avoiding pain or disappointment. They're about embracing the full range of human experience, knowing that even in the hardest moments, love remains. The love we find later in life isn't just about companionship. It's about creating a partnership that stands the test of time, built on a foundation of mutual respect, shared growth, and deep understanding. In the end, love beyond time is a gift we give to ourselves. It's a reminder that no matter how old we are, love is always there, waiting for us to embrace it. And when we do, we discover a love that's stronger, richer, and more fulfilling than we ever thought possible. As we continue this journey of love beyond time, one of the biggest challenges we face when it comes to love later in life is the fear that comes with it. It's a natural part of being human. We've lived through so much: heartbreak, loss, changes in our circumstances, and sometimes it feels easier to stay in our comfortable bubble than to step back into the world of love. We might even tell ourselves, "It's too late for me," or "What if I get hurt again?" These fears, while completely normal, can keep us from experiencing the very love we deserve. The fear of vulnerability is one of the most common hurdles we face. After all, when you've been through life's ups and downs, the idea of opening your heart again can seem daunting. But here's the thing: vulnerability isn't a weakness. It's the gateway to deeper, more meaningful connections. If you never let yourself be vulnerable, you miss out on the opportunity to experience the kind of love that doesn't just scratch the surface, but touches the very core of who you are. And when we finally allow ourselves to be open, to be seen for who we truly are, that's when real magic happens. It's easy to believe that love in our later years should be the same as it was in our youth, the passionate, fiery kind that sweeps us off our feet. But love, as we age, comes with its own set of beautiful challenges. It doesn't need to be rushed, and it doesn't need to be perfect. What matters is the willingness to open up, to take a chance on something real and lasting, even if we've been hurt in the past. The truth is, you don't have to go into a new relationship with the expectation that it will heal all your wounds. Instead, it's about two people coming together, supporting each other, and helping each other grow. That's what makes the connection so powerful. Think about it this way: when we are willing to be vulnerable and to take the leap, we start to trust not just the other person, but ourselves as well. We trust that we are strong enough to handle whatever comes our way, that we have the resilience to get through the tough moments and the wisdom to appreciate the beautiful ones. Love, when we allow ourselves to embrace it fully, becomes a source of empowerment. It teaches us to be braver, more authentic, and more accepting, not just of others, but of ourselves too. And in doing so, we open the door to relationships that are far more rewarding than we could ever imagine. But vulnerability isn't just about opening up to someone else. It's about being open to yourself. It's about letting go of the idea that you need to be perfect in order to be loved. Let go of the belief that you must have everything figured out before love can find you. Love doesn't wait for the perfect moment. It happens when we least expect it, often when we are at our most authentic, at our most real. And that's the love that lasts. It's the kind of love that doesn't come with strings attached, with expectations or conditions. It's love that simply is, without any pretense or drama. But here's the tricky part. Even when we realize that love is possible, we often face barriers that make us hesitate. These barriers can be practical. Things like health, family dynamics, or social expectations. Or they can be emotional, like the fear of being vulnerable. These things can feel like huge obstacles, and it's easy to get caught up in thinking that they are insurmountable. But the truth is, most of these barriers are not as strong as they seem. Let's take health, for example. It's not uncommon for people to feel like they're too old to start a new relationship because they're worried about their health. But health challenges don't mean you can't find love. In fact, they can make you more compassionate and understanding. They can help you appreciate the little things, the simple moments that make life meaningful. and love can grow from there. It's not about finding someone to take care of you. It's about finding someone who will stand by your side, in good times and bad, offering support and encouragement as you both navigate life's journey together. Then there's family dynamics. As we age, family relationships can become more complicated. Perhaps your children or grandchildren might feel protective of you, or maybe there's a sense of responsibility you feel towards your loved ones. But even in these cases, love doesn't have to create division. A loving relationship in later life can actually bring families closer together, as long as the foundation of mutual respect and understanding is there. Open conversations with family members can help clear any misunderstandings, and it's important to make sure that love doesn't feel like an obligation. It should feel like a joy, something that enhances your life and the lives of those around you. There's also the social stigma we sometimes encounter. People may have certain expectations about what love should look like in our later years. But the beauty of life is that it's never too late to find something meaningful. It's never too late to experience love, whether it's romantic love, companionship, or even the deep connection that comes with friendship. So, if you ever feel like the world around you is telling you that love isn't for you anymore, remember that those ideas are just societal pressures. They aren't the truth. One of the most important lessons we learn about love in later life is that it's about embracing all of who we are, imperfections, flaws, and all. And that's where the real beauty lies. We don't need to fit into a mold of what others think love should look like. Instead, we need to create our own definition of what love means for us. It's not about living up to someone else's standards. It's about honoring our own desires and needs and finding someone who does the same. And when we find that, we realize that all the barriers we once saw are just stepping stones, leading us toward something greater. In the end, the key to embracing love in later life is to accept that it may look different than we imagined, but that doesn't make it any less beautiful. The love we find later on can be just as powerful, just as fulfilling, and just as life-changing as the love we experience at any other stage in life. And sometimes, it's even more meaningful because it's built on the foundation of all the lessons we've learned, all the growth we've experienced, and all the wisdom we've gained. As we get older, we realize that love doesn't have to be a race to the finish line. It doesn't have to be about proving anything to anyone. It's simply about two people coming together, sharing their stories, supporting each other, and creating something beautiful. And when we open ourselves up to this kind of love, we find that it's more than worth the journey. Now let's talk about rediscovering romance. If you're wondering how to keep the spark alive, or how to find new ways to connect with someone after many years of living life on your own terms, the good news is that romance doesn't disappear with age. In fact, it can become even more exciting because you have a deeper understanding of what truly matters in a relationship. The rush of youth may be gone, but the joy of shared experiences, deep conversation, and emotional intimacy is something that grows as you age. One of the beautiful things about later life romance is that it's not about the grand gestures. It's about the small, meaningful actions that show love. Maybe it's surprising your partner with their favorite meal, or perhaps it's holding hands during a walk. It could be as simple as watching the sunset together and feeling completely at peace in each other's company. These are the moments that create lasting memories. They build a foundation of connection and trust that is unmatched. Romance in later life can also mean rediscovering the things you love to do together. It might be exploring new hobbies, traveling to places you've always wanted to visit, or taking up a new sport or activity. These shared adventures help you bond in ways that go beyond just the physical. They allow you to connect on a deeper level, creating memories that will last a lifetime. And let's not forget the power of intimacy. Intimacy in later years is different than it was when we were younger. It's less about proving something to one another and more about sharing a quiet understanding. It's about the little touches, the knowing glances, and the warmth that comes from simply being close to someone who truly understands you. Physical intimacy, while still important, is just one aspect of a much deeper emotional connection that can be just as satisfying and fulfilling as it ever was. Rediscovering romance in later life isn't just about reigniting the spark. It's about nurturing the flame that already exists. It's about finding new ways to keep the connection alive and making sure that the love you share continues to grow and flourish, no matter how many years have passed. The beauty of later life romance is that it's built on a foundation of respect, understanding, and the knowledge that love isn't something you need to chase. It's something you can nurture and cultivate over time. The truth is, love in our later years can be as full, rich, and passionate as any other time in life. It's about embracing the wisdom we've gained, the stories we've lived, and the love that's waiting to unfold. And when we allow ourselves to step into that space, we realize that love beyond time isn't just possible. It's something to be celebrated. When we talk about the power of soulmates, one of the most profound things is how they support and uplift us. Soulmates aren't just people to share the good times with. They're the ones who are there for us when life gets tough. They're the ones who offer a steady hand when we stumble, who help us navigate the hardest moments with grace and strength. This kind of support is something truly extraordinary because it's built on more than just romantic attraction. It's built on a deep sense of partnership, mutual respect, and the understanding that you are in this together, through thick and thin. As we age, we face unique challenges that younger couples might not fully grasp. Health concerns, the loss of loved ones, changes in financial or living circumstances. These are all parts of life that can feel daunting, especially when faced alone. But when you have a soulmate, you're not just going through these challenges as an individual. You're going through them as a team. Together, you have someone who's willing to stand beside you, no matter what the future holds. And that kind of connection is powerful. Think about the strength that comes from having someone who truly understands you. Not just your desires, but also your fears, your worries, and your past. They don't judge you for the scars you carry. Instead, they love you for the person you've become because of them. They see your vulnerabilities as strengths and support you in ways that help you become a better version of yourself. In turn, you offer the same to them, creating a bond that is not just emotionally satisfying but spiritually enriching as well. And when life's inevitable setbacks occur, whether it's a health scare, a financial crisis, or a personal loss, it's that soulmate bond that makes all the difference. Having someone there who doesn't just offer sympathy, but actively helps you through these trials is the ultimate kind of love. It's a love that deepens with each challenge faced together. Every time you overcome a hurdle side by side, your relationship becomes stronger, more resilient. You start to see that your love is a safe harbor in a world that can sometimes feel unpredictable and chaotic. This mutual support isn't just about handling the tough stuff. It's also about celebrating the wins together, no matter how big or small. The joy that comes from having someone to share the victories with, the milestones and accomplishments you've worked hard to achieve, is amplified when your soulmate is there to cheer you on. You get to celebrate not just the successes of life, but the fact that you're living it together, making memories and creating a future that you both look forward to. As we age, there's also a deep sense of comfort in knowing that we're not alone in the world. The companionship that comes with a soulmate is invaluable. It's not just about having someone to share your home with, but having someone who is your emotional anchor, the one person who really gets you. And this kind of connection offers a unique sense of peace, something that becomes more important as time goes on. The thought of growing older with someone, sharing the final chapters of your life together, brings a sense of calm that's hard to put into words. The knowledge that no matter what, you'll always have each other makes everything feel a little easier to handle. This is what true love in later life is about, building a partnership that sustains you through both the joyful and challenging moments. It's about knowing that love isn't just something to seek or find. It's something to nurture, to grow, and to protect. Soulmates offer this to each other. And when you find that connection, it's worth holding on to with everything you have. But there's another side to this journey that we often don't consider. How love in later life can change the way we view the world and the relationships around us. It's not just about the romantic partnership itself, it's about the ripple effect that your love can have on those around you. especially your family and friends. The love between soulmates isn't confined to just the two of you. It extends outward, impacting your entire circle and showing others the beauty of connection, no matter the stage of life. I've seen couples who've been together for years, and their love radiates beyond them. It touches their children, their grandchildren, their friends. When family members see the bond between two people who found love later in life, it can inspire them to open up to their own possibilities. It shows that love doesn't have to be fleeting. It can be enduring, strong, and something that nurtures everyone it touches. And it's not just about romantic relationships. Love in later life can change the way we interact with our communities as well. When soulmates share a bond that is visible to others, they create a model of what a healthy, loving relationship can look like. This inspires others to seek out love, to be more open to connection, and to recognize that love is something to be cherished at every stage of life. And as you continue your own journey, you become a part of that story, showing others that love, no matter the age, can be just as beautiful, just as profound, and just as meaningful. As we grow older, we also begin to see the importance of living life with purpose, and soulmates can play a huge role in helping us do that. They encourage us to take chances, to try new things, and to continue growing as individuals, even as we share our lives together. It's a partnership where you both push each other to live with intention and passion. Soulmates are there to remind us that no matter how many years have passed, there's still so much to experience, to explore, and to learn. You don't just stop growing when you meet your soulmate. You continue evolving together, building a life that is rich with experiences, with meaning, and with love. But this doesn't happen on its own. It takes effort. It takes choosing to grow together, to keep challenging each other to be better, and to keep the spark alive. There's no magic formula for this. It's about being intentional about how you show up for each other, how you create new memories, and how you keep nurturing the relationship. This is what makes later life love so beautiful. It's a love that is not taken for granted. It's a love that is actively cultivated, and because of that, it becomes something that lasts. As you move through your own journey, think about the kind of legacy you want to leave. What kind of love do you want to share with the world? The love you experience in later life doesn't just change you. It has the power to change others as well. It has the ability to show those around you that love is never too late, that it's always possible to find deep, meaningful connection, no matter your age. When you live with purpose, and when your love becomes a source of inspiration to those around you, you create a ripple effect that spreads far beyond your relationship. The love between soulmates becomes a beacon, a guiding light for others to follow. And that's something truly extraordinary. As we get older, we realize that every day is a gift. Every moment spent with a soulmate is a moment to cherish. The time we have with the people we love becomes even more precious. And that's why it's so important to embrace the golden years with an open heart. Don't wait for tomorrow to express love, to show appreciation, or to create memories. Today is the day to embrace the beauty of love, the strength of your connection, and the gift that it is. Growing older with someone who is your soulmate is a reminder that the best parts of life are yet to come. It's a reminder that love doesn't have to fade. It can deepen, it can grow, and it can become something truly powerful. With every year, every experience, you get to build a love that is uniquely yours, something that is both timeless and beautiful. And when you do, you'll find that your golden years are more than just about looking back. They're about moving forward, together, in love. So, cherish the love you have, the love that's yet to come, and the love that will continue to grow, for it is in these moments that life's true beauty lies. As we continue to explore the idea of love beyond time, there's something incredibly special about growing old with your soulmate. It's the quiet moments that become the most meaningful, the ones where you don't have to say anything, but simply being in each other's presence feels like the world is in perfect harmony. These are the moments that remind us love isn't just a feeling, it's a shared experience. The beauty of aging together with someone you truly connect with is that the love you share isn't just built on physical attraction or fleeting emotions. It's built on years of understanding, mutual respect, and shared history. It's something that grows deeper with every year, with every challenge overcome, and with every joy celebrated together. And while the romantic part of love is undeniably powerful, there's also something to be said for the companionship that comes with a soulmate. The comfort of knowing you have someone who will always be there, not just when it's convenient or easy, but when it's tough, when you're dealing with illness, when you're navigating the complexities of life, or when you're simply feeling uncertain about the future. A soulmate is the person who helps you face those moments with strength, knowing that no matter what, you'll face them together. Think about the little things that make this kind of companionship so beautiful. The mornings spent having coffee together, the shared glances that say everything without words, the small touches that remind you that you're not alone in the world. These seemingly insignificant moments are actually the foundation of a truly lasting love. They speak to a level of intimacy that goes beyond what words can express, and that's why they're so precious. Because as time passes, we realize that it's not the grand gestures or the big milestones that make love meaningful. It's the quiet, everyday moments that we share with the people we care about. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that love is supposed to look a certain way. We see love portrayed in movies or read about it in books, and we think it has to be grand, dramatic, and perfect. But real love, especially the love that develops later in life, is often far simpler, and so much more beautiful because of it. It's about two people who have lived their own lives, faced their own challenges, and yet, somehow, they find each other and realize that together, they can make the rest of their journey even more beautiful. They don't need to reinvent themselves for each other. They simply need to be real and share their lives, flaws and all. And that's where the magic happens. It's not in the perfection, but in the vulnerability. It's in the acceptance that neither person is perfect, but together, they create something whole. In those moments, love becomes a force that transcends time. It becomes timeless because it is built on the strength of real, authentic connection, not on superficial ideals or unrealistic expectations. It's about embracing each other as you are, flaws, quirks, and all. This is the kind of love that endures. This is the kind of love that doesn't fade away, even as the years pass. And when you find someone who not only accepts you but cherishes you for exactly who you are, you realize that love isn't just about finding someone to share your life with. It's about finding someone who makes your life richer, fuller, and more meaningful. So, as we continue this conversation, think about the love that you have in your life. Whether it's a soulmate you've already found or a love you're still waiting for, know that love can come at any time, at any age. It's never too late to open your heart, to embrace the love that's waiting for you. And when you do, you'll realize that the love you've been searching for might not be the kind of love you expected. It might not be the grand, passionate kind that we often see in movies. But it will be something far more profound. The kind of love that lasts, that deepens with time, and that transforms you from the inside out. At this stage of life, love doesn't have to be about proving anything to anyone. It's not about keeping up with expectations or meeting some idealized standard. It's about finding someone who matches your energy, who brings out the best in you, and who accepts you for who you truly are. And when you find that, you realize that love doesn't need to be loud or flashy. It can be quiet, peaceful, and powerful, all at the same time. Now, as we near the end of this journey, I want to talk about how love, especially love in later life, can also be a deeply spiritual experience. You see, when you find your soulmate, it's not just about the physical connection or the emotional support. It's about something greater. It's about the spiritual bond that forms between two people who are meant to be together. It's about the energy that flows between you, the way you are drawn together by forces greater than either of you can understand. It's a connection that goes beyond the physical world, one that feels eternal, like it was destined to be. This is why soulmates feel so significant. It's not just about the time you have together. It's about the deep sense of knowing that you found someone who was meant for you. It's as if your souls have recognized each other from the moment you met, and everything that came before was simply leading you to this point in time. This kind of love is profound, transcendent, and gives us a glimpse into something far bigger than ourselves. It's a reminder that love is not just something we experience here and now. It's something that has a timeless quality, something that connects us across lifetimes and beyond. And perhaps, in the end, that's the greatest lesson that love teaches us as we get older. Love is not bound by time. It's not limited by age, by circumstances, or by the years that have passed. It is a force that endures, that grows, and that transforms, no matter how much time has gone by. It's a reminder that the best parts of life aren't behind us. They're still ahead of us, waiting to be discovered, waiting to be shared with someone who truly sees us for who we are, flaws and all. As you look back on your own life, and as you look forward, remember that love is always a possibility. It's never too late to find a soulmate, never too late to experience a deep and lasting connection. Whether you've found that love already or are still waiting for it, know that love beyond time is real. It's waiting for you when you're ready to embrace it. And when you do, you'll find that love isn't just something that happens to you, it's something that happens with you, and it's a journey that will continue to unfold beautifully for the rest of your life.